Good afternoon, folks. I'm back. I'm alive. Yes, after way too long off, I'm back. So yay. Yeah, I'll start off with an apology for that one. Just when I got out of the habit of apologising for lack of stability in my streaming schedule, I then managed to take like 3 weeks off. So yeah. So what happened? Well, there was a planned absence. We were away on holiday, and I will talk about that in just a second. Which was, a week. So it's like planned. It was going to be a week off. That's fine. And then, yeah. So we were away at Disneyland Paris, which was very cool. We'll talk about that in just a sec. And then coming back from that, like immediately afterwards, my wife tested positive for COVID, which sucks. And good grief, this new variant, it hits you like a ton of bricks. So yeah, everything got completely derailed then. I remained negative during that until basically the moment my wife tested negative, I then tested positive. So then that was me, not quite as badly hit by it, but still, not exactly terribly functional. It hit my throat mostly. I'm quite glad I didn't get the fatigue that other people had got from it. But yeah, my voice was rough, and swallowing was very uncomfortable. So yeah, it's been the best part. Has it been all 3 weeks that I was off? I think so. No, if so, I can only apologise. But I'm back, trying to get things back into a routine of some sort. So that's the plan. So we've got today's normal geeky lunch chat today, which will mostly probably be updates on this, that, and everything that's happened over the last 4 months. I apologise if you can hear noise outside. There's no way I'm not having the windows open because, it's pretty warm here. What is it right now? 24. Yes, it's quite warm. I have a fan behind me, but that's not on because it keeps me very cool, but creates an awful lot of noise if I'm talking on a microphone. So yeah, not using that. So geeky lunch chat today. If everything goes to plan, and at this stage, hello Photostyle. How are we doing? Really good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Train of thought derails completely. Yes. So Wednesday. I want to promise because I feel if I promise I've basically jinxed it. But the plan is we'll do our standard geeky lunch chat with games, where I think we'll do a third and probably final stream on Warlock of Firetop Mountain. If you joined me for those before I was away, I did 2 streams of playing that classic Fighting Fantasy Choose Your Own Adventure game book. Last one was mostly rambling through a maze, so I'm going to be using a little bit of an aid on this the third stream of this one. I will have a map to help me because I want to get to the labyrinth bit and get on to either success or failure at the end. And I think regardless of whether we succeed or not, I'll probably call it after this third stream because I do want to do some other stuff as well. But yeah, that's the plan for Wednesday. To best of my knowledge, I am free at lunchtime on Wednesday, but I feel if I try and put it in stone, something will go horribly wrong. So that's the plan, hopefully back to normal. So let's run through some bits and pieces. Doing well, just logging in for a telework day. Okie doke. Well, I hope that goes as smoothly and as least boringly as possible. But thank you, the support is very much appreciated. So what's been happening? Let's start with a quick update and then we'll do the bigger stuff. So first one is a cool little announcement here. It's something that's been in the works for a little while now, but then I was unreliable in responding to things and they were unreliable in responding to things and then we were both unreliable at responding to things. But cool thing happened. So a little while ago, the cool folks at LegendKeeper reached out to me asking if they could sponsor the Tabletop Creators Directory, which is very cool. So I've never had someone reach out saying they want to sponsor something before. So that was really awesome. And so I had to give it a little bit of money. Not a huge amount, essentially, about whether I wanted to go down the route of sponsored stuff. I didn't think it would be a problem, but you don't want to just say yes straight away and sign your life away. They're good people. So that's now a thing. So the Tabletop Creators Directory, and let's stick some links in here. is now sponsored by the awesome folks at LegendKeeper, which is a cool tool, mostly for creating homebrew worlds and then sharing it with your players, so that you can have everything behind the scenes and you can share elements with them as they discover more and more stuff. It's a very cool thing. I'll admit I've not actually used it myself yet. I've been weighing it up though. Essentially, the only reason I've not used it yet is I don't have a homebrew campaign that I'm running right now. Otherwise, I would definitely be doing that, because that's one of those things that I've tended to run in a very ad hoc sort of way with like Word documents and stuff like that. So when I next do a homebrew campaign, I think I'll probably be diving into LegendKeeper. But take a look at it. Yeah, and they have very kindly offered to essentially pay for kind of upkeep stuff for the Tabletop Creators Directory, which is awesome. So yeah, that's very, very cool. So that's the first little update here. Second update, Shought Thorts. So Shought Thorts, wow. I had to keep myself busy doing some of that stuff, because so Shought Thorts, let's chuck a link in there, let's do this. So Shought Thorts is my bite-sized interview show. We now have 6 episodes out into the wilds. One of them came out during my absence. That was the episode with Ellie Jordan. So yeah, somehow we've got 6 episodes out already. 7th one comes out this Friday, and that's going to be a really, really freaking good episode. It's genuinely one of my favorites. So that is the interview with Izza, better known as Evil Clever Dog, who is an amazing cosplayer and creator of costumes and props and all kinds of stuff. I mean, freaking amazing stuff that she creates. I think it was genuinely the hardest episode to edit, just because there was so much good stuff in there. So we record generally we aim for half an hour. It sometimes goes a bit over that. Then I edit it down to 15 minutes, and I insist on myself that it is going to be a maximum of 15 minutes. So I think the second I start bending that rule, it then starts creeping up and creeping up and creeping up. So it's a maximum of 15 minutes. And that was tough. There's just so much stuff in Izza's answers to these. I think it's one of the funniest episodes. There's a lot of silly stuff in there. There's also some serious topics as well. And I tried to get a good balance of that stuff, and I wanted to keep as many of the kind of silly anecdotes in there as possible, without cutting into the more hard-hitting stuff. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that episode. So that will be out on Friday at 1 PM BST. Do take a look. Which kind of nicely segues into 2 other bits and pieces related to Shought Thorts. So first of all, so far it is YouTube only, and I've activated the thing, so technically through YouTube podcasts you can listen to it in a podcast format, but just on YouTube at this time. But what I am going to be doing over the next couple of weeks is I'm actually going to turn it into a proper podcast as well. It's something that I was kind of planning to do from the start, but I didn't want to kind of invest time and money in it until I knew how the YouTube version was going. And I think the response to the YouTube one has been good, and is continuing to expand, which is great. But I think as something that is bite-sized, 15 minutes is good for like a quick walk to the shops and stuff like that. So actually, turning it into a podcast, I think, is an obvious move to make. And now that, thanks to the wonderful sponsorship of LegendKeeper, I'm not having to worry about paying the monthly subscription for stuff related to the Tabletop Creators Directory. I can just invest the money I was spending on that in hosting stuff for Podbean, so I can do it through Podbean. So that will be relatively soon. I think we might launch that on my birthday, I think, at the end of the month, on the 28th. Potentially we'll do it before that, but we'll see. I don't want to rush it. It looks relatively straightforward to do, but I don't like overcommitting to stuff and then dropping the ball. Yeah, so that's exciting stuff. Swig of drink coming. What else? Well, related to my birthday, I've set myself three goals. So I used to do kind of goals for my birthday, which were generally about kind of things like Twitter following. I did a big push on that a couple of years ago, and then I did trying to get Little But Fierce. I can't remember which milestone I was trying to get Little But Fierce to at the time. So I've done milestone goals for my birthday before. This one I'm kind of focusing on this and Shought Thorts right now. So essentially my goals for my birthday, which is the 28th of August, where I've got 39, not quite a big number yet, 39. Is what I want to try and do is I want to try and get following here on Twitch up to 100 followers if I can. Currently we are on 86, which is pretty awesome. Had a few people follow just in the last couple of days, which is fantastic. So I think that is doable in theory. So yes, so the goal there is to try and get Twitch followers up to 100 by my birthday. I also want to try and get YouTube subscribers up to 100 as well. And on a similar number there off the top of my head. I want to say I want something like something like 87 or something like that. I think off the top of my head. Let's look. Yeah, 87 subscribers on the YouTube channel for Shought Thorts and Thoughts and the like. So I think we can do this. And those, I think, are easier to achieve because they are essentially free. The other goal is trying to get my Ko-Fi up to 5 subscribers on that one. So I used to have Patreon for a long time, and that was okay, but Ko-Fi I quickly realized Ko-Fi was actually a better platform for doing stuff through. So I did a changeover. I ran them in tandem for a little while, and then I said I had a cool down period on my Patreon, and then switched entirely over to my Ko-Fi. And I lost a lot of my followers there, which this is not anything against my wonderful ex-followers on Patreon, because the fact is life is really bloody expensive right now. Cost of living is horrendous, and I think I gave them an out, to be honest. I know a lot of people who we kind of mutually follow and back each other on Ko-Fi and Patreon, which is kind of nice, but also a little bit silly, because essentially we end up not even breaking even because the platforms take fees. But it's nice that we kind of sort of support each other, if that means. So I lost a lot of my followers when I did that. So I'm slowly building it back up. But we're currently on 3 of 5. It would be nice to get that up to 5 of 5 if that's of interest. It's $3 a month. You get access to exclusive content. You get discounts if you buy stuff directly through my Ko-Fi store. You get some access to works in progress of stuff. So if you are a little bit fierce player, you get access, in particular, you'll get access to a lot of early drafts of stuff on that. So I'm not, obviously it'd be wonderful to hit that goal for my birthday on the 28th, but if we don't get it, not too fussed about it. The bigger ones I want to try and push are YouTube subscribers and Twitch followers. So if we can get those both up to 100, that would be absolutely amazing. What else? Upcoming conventions. So lots of convention stuff coming up relatively soon. I wasn't intending to do this many conventions this year. It's just sort of happened. So Tabletop Scotland is at the start of September. And I wasn't able to make that last year just because we relatively recently moved house. And it just wasn't practical to go all the way back up to Scotland for that. But I'm doing that this year, so I'm going to be there for all 3 days of that. So I think that's 6th, 7th, 8th of September. I do need to book my travel for that before it gets horrendously expensive. So that's something I need to do tonight. But I bought my ticket, sorted accommodation. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be nice to be able to spend some time at a con rather than constantly looking at my watch and figuring out, I need to do this and rushing that. So it'd be nice to be able to browse, to chat to people, catch up with folks I've not seen for a while, go to some of the kind of panels and events and stuff like that. I think we've got a couple of quizzes on and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. That should be an awful lot of fun. So if you are in Scotland or nearby Scotland, it would be wonderful to see you there. Do reach out. I hope you fancy meeting up for Tabletop Scotland, so that'll be good. Next one, which I wasn't originally planning to do, is the October, I think. Essentially the second MCM London of the year. So I went to the one back in springtime because that was when there was meant to be, if you cast your minds back, there was meant to be the networking event that then got cancelled at the last minute due to Dicebreaker getting kind of swallowed up. So I ended up going to one day back to go a free ticket for it. I wasn't originally going to do MCM London, the second one this year, but I know quite a lot of people who are going to that, so I think it'll be nice to catch up, to do networking. I know that Cycloteer is flying over again from the States, who I briefly met at the last summer, autumn MCM. And it'll be good to kind of talk properly, which will be really, really great. So yeah, I think I don't know how many days I'm going to do with that. I might do the full weekend of it, or I might just do one day. We'll see. I haven't bought my tickets for that one yet. But then my plan is to go to that because I'm not that far from London, to be honest. So that'll be good. For one crazy moment, I thought, well, it would be great to kind of stay over in London. Then you kind of get the after party nightlife element of MCM. And then I looked at prices of things in London. It's like I cannot justify that. I think I'll just get the last train home, to be honest, in the first train in, because I'm not spending like £500-600 on your nights in London. That's ridiculous. And the last one is Dragon Meet. So Dragon Meet November. So that'll be good. I talked about this before, so we're going to be doing a panel of that, talking about running and creating tabletop RPGs for kids. So that'll be really fun. Looking forward to that. Anything else? I don't think so. Let's go on to the meatier topics here, because I realised I've kind of been rambling for, like 15 minutes and haven't gone on to the major topics yet. So let's try and stick a little bit better to times. And I do see, just looking at chat, I do see there is a lurking Radiant Leave there. So I just want to say hello. If you are listening or lurking, really good for you to join me after my prolonged absence. So I hope you are having an awesome day. So bigger topic. So as I said, the first week, the planned element of the absence was us going to Disneyland Paris, which was cool. I think I was actually streaming the last time I went to Disneyland Paris. So we went last year, which was an awful lot of fun. My little one had an absolutely amazing time. She really did. And we weren't planning on going this year. We didn't plan for it to kind of become an annual thing until my mum reached out a few months ago. And we see my mum quite often now that we're back down south, which is great. And her husband kind of goes away to do a volunteering thing for a couple of weeks during every summer. So she suggested, it'd be really good if we could do like a staycation thing. And she offered to pay for some of it, which was very, very generous of her. And then we talked about Disney again, and actually that we managed to do it relatively inexpensively last time. And then she suggested we actually do it, which was cool because the last time we did Disneyland, so it was my wife and I and our 4-year-old, which is great, but it does limit what you can do because essentially you can only go on stuff that you can take the little one on. Which is quite a lot of stuff nowadays, to be honest. She was 1 meter and 2 centimeters tall last time, which meant she was able to do things like Star Tours for the first time. She just scraped in like the reason I know that was her height is that is the height limit for Star Tours. So she just about got into Star Tours. Like they literally were putting like a piece of paper above her head to check, was she just high enough or not. But yeah, so going with my mum this time, it meant we had an extra body, which is very cool, which meant, could go on a load of rides and stuff like that. And my mum, doesn't like roller coasters, but she likes going on this kind of smaller stuff as well. But it also meant there were times where my mum could look after our little one while my wife and I went on a ride, which is very, very cool. So we were able to go on things like the Avengers Coaster and Space Mountain, which I've not been on for years and years and years. So that was a huge amount of fun. We had a really, really good time, but good grief, my 4-year-old has grown in that year. No, less than a year, because we went actually in like November-ish time. It was just to start, I can't remember, I think it was just start Christmas holidays. I can't remember, I want to say November-ish last year is when we went. And this time we went during the summer. So it's been like, 6-7 months, something like that, and she's grown a lot. Like I said last time, she was just getting into 1 meter 2 centimeter. The next level up is 1 meter 7 centimeters, and she was over it. Yeah, I think she's like 1 meter 8, something like 1 meter 8 a bit, something like that. So she was on the next level of rides up. So she went on Crush's Coaster, which is brilliant, absolutely great fun, and she is an adrenaline junkie. And we went on the Tower of Terror, which she really enjoyed. So that was marvellous. Absolutely loads of fun was that. And a really, really nice holiday. We thought the weather was going to be touch and go. There was going to be some rain, and there was a bit of rain on 2 of the mornings. But, by the afternoon it was really, really dry, and we missed out on anything in particular. So that was a wonderful holiday. And one random thing that happened. So we stuck our noses into. Sorry, I'm really northern there. I stuck my nose. We stuck our noses into the shops, as you do. And good grief, everything's expensive. And we saw that there were some things that weren't expensive. They had a rack of stuff we saw on the first day that was, clearly in an increasing sale. It had maybe been about 40-50% off, and they had a few things that were like 75% off. Wow, that's not a huge amount of stuff, but we were thinking ahead to like birthdays and Christmas and stuff like that. Thinking, there's some stuff there that looks pretty good. Maybe those would be really nice for family members. We'll keep an eye on that. And we were in the middle of the day where we didn't want to be carrying plates and cups and stuff like that. But we thought, on the way out, we'll make sure we get some stuff like that. Then the last day, we were going to go in and get some of this stuff. And then we overheard one of the people who worked there talking to a customer, which is saying about 90%. So we tried not to be too nosy, but we asked, each of them the items on sale, and said, it's the last day of this sale. Clearly they're getting rid of a load of stock and then getting some new stuff. So they had so much stuff was 90% off, and I never bought that many cups in one go, but we just basically did like a raid, not quite. I mean, we could have really taken this, if we wanted to, we could have just tried to buy everything and then start selling stuff on eBay, but that's not cool. Because you want other people to get stuff. Because honestly, how often do you get to go do a load of shopping in a Disney shop? Because my God, things are expensive. But we've got a load of Christmas presents for stuff. We've got a load of stuff for our little one. We got some things that I really liked. I should have grabbed them, so I've got them here. But I've got our daughter a little Captain Marvel jacket. Kind of, I don't think it is leather, but it's kind of leather style Captain Marvel jacket, and that should have been something stupid. It should have been something like kind of 40 quid or something like that, 90% off. Yes, we got it for about 4 quid or €6 or something like that. Something ridiculous, My wife got a Captain Marvel poncho and stuff like that. We got so much stuff, and our daughter's got a few cuddlies, like a cuddly thumper and stuff like that. So, unexpected. I mean, good grief, it was. Packing the car on the way back was tough because we really had to be very careful with a lot of this crockery and stuff. But a huge haul of goods, and you do the maths on it. It's like, oh, good grief! I think we spent, I don't know, let's say 60 quid, something like that. Which is, you do the maths and you go, oh my God, that would have been like £600 worth of Disney merch. But no, good. So we've got some stuff, kind of media stuff, but also that's a lot of kind of. Birthday and Christmas shopping done, or a significant chunk of it. So that was very, very cool. So that was Disney. Disney was an awful lot of fun. Sorry, I'm slouching quite a lot. Let's not do that. I'm inflating a thing on my chair that supports my lower back a bit more. But also, while at Disney, so we were in the queue for the Spider-Man ride, which is freaking awesome, by the way. The Spider-Man Web Spinners ride at Disney is so good. So we were in the queue for that when a notification went off on my phone, which was that Joe Biden had dropped out of the American election. And then I was hooked. To be honest, I've been following the American election pretty closely anyway, because, one, it's a very big thing. Of course it is, but, the stakes are so high on this election, I don't tend to go majorly political on streams. Though I am a very political person, but I think, it kind of goes without saying, doesn't require an awful lot of justification of the fact that if Donald Trump gets into the White House again, his impact is going to be pretty horrendous for not only America but the world as well. And if you pay attention to the news, what's happened the last couple of days in the UK, the rise of right-wing politics again is very bad, and the impact of that is horrendous to so many people. in terms of mob violence and racism and all the rest of it. So yeah, I was keeping an eye on the election anyway, but this is obviously huge, and now I'm kind of gobbling everything up about it. I think Kamala Harris is a very exciting prospect for the White House, not just in being not another old white guy, but I think it's very exciting in terms of the progressive choice, and also a palatable choice, for Republicans who don't want to vote for Trump. I don't want to go too much into this, but it's for reasons I don't quite understand. I get the broad strokes of it, but Hillary Clinton was completely unpalatable to so many Republicans. I think she'd become a figurehead of everything they hated. So even if she was, logically speaking, the person you would vote for if you're a Republican who didn't want to vote for Trump, I think there were so many who would not vote for Hillary Clinton because of what she stood for. And I think Kamala Harris is a better option here. My God, we are seeing so much sexism and racism. But what I'm seeing, at least, is that we're getting a lot of Republicans saying no, oh God, choose words carefully. You would hope there were a lot of people who would look at what Trump has been doing and saying over the past how many years, and that would be enough for them to go, no, I'm not going to vote for him. But I think clearly the pettiness and the horrificness of the racism and sexism that he's just kind of shooting from the hip on, and is very telling of his views on everything. I hope that this is enough to get not only for not Donald Trump to win the election, but actually an exciting prospect of Kamala Harris as president. I really hope, we'll see. Labour won in the UK, which was a good sign. We had the huge swing in things in France. I really hope that actually, Kamala Harris winning the election in the States is what we need for a big kick in the teeth to quell the rise of the far right in America. We shall see. But yeah, I'll be watching that very, very closely. But yeah, it's going to get ugly. It is going to get ugly over the next, 90-something days. We shall see. We shall see. What else? The last big one on here is I unexpectedly got to go to the cinema, which is nice. The fact is, I don't get to go to the cinema very often. Not because I can't go to the cinema, but the fact is, I've got a 4-year-old, and my wife and I are incredibly busy with our day jobs. Workplace stress is very, very high. So, the fact is, most evenings we are absolutely exhausted, and even if it's one of those that my wife would absolutely say go to the cinema, and vice versa. I look after our daughter. My wife went to go to the cinema. We could probably get someone to babysit if we wanted to go together. But the fact is, trips to the cinema are few and far between, because we're just exhausted. We really are. And cinema's bloody expensive nowadays. However, I, shortly after getting back from Disney, and oh my God, I had COVID tested myself a lot. This was before I tested positive. So I've been testing myself every single day, because I knew I had this work trip coming up. And clearly, if I tested positive, I wouldn't have gone. I would not have gone. Even though there's no official rule, I wouldn't have gone, because it's not fucking cool. But I was testing myself, I was still negative. So I had this, I had to go to Leeds for the day. And I had to do an overnight the night before, because otherwise I'd be getting up at stupid o'clock to travel up to Leeds. And I got there, and I realised I had a bit of an evening to myself. Not a huge amount, but I had a bit of an evening. So I was thinking, well, I'll probably watch a film, go to the hotel, put something on my laptop, have a drink, enjoy the evening. And I walked past a cinema. And I thought, actually, if there's something that works, I could go and see a film in the cinema. And then it was a perfect alignment. because Deadpool and Wolverine had just come out, and I was already seeing bits of spoilers. In fact, I'd seen a spoiler, and I'm not going to say it because it's not cool to spoil stuff. Now, I imagine the thing I would say it's a spoiler is pretty well known because people are just blabbing it everywhere. And what I saw was someone having a photo taken in the cinema of it as the thumbnail of a tweet, which is not cool. Don't do that. So that little bit was spoiled for me. But I thought, if I wait until I can see this digitally, the whole bloody movie's going to be spoiled. It really is. Well, let's go and see it. So I did. It was a really nice cinema as well. It was, I can't remember the brand of it, but it wasn't like a View or a Cineworld or something like that. It was one that actually had like sofas and stuff, and they brought you like food and stuff to your seat. It was a really nice cinema. And I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. I mean, suffice to say, it was a hell of a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was everything I hoped it would be. I didn't catch Deadpool 2 in the cinema. Did I see Deadpool 1 in the cinema? Maybe I didn't. I can't even remember now if I saw Deadpool 1 in the cinema. I certainly didn't see Deadpool 2 in the cinema. I'm pretty sure I saw 1 in the cinema. But it was an awful lot of fun. It didn't ruin Logan, which I think is a very strong ending. I don't know what they'll do next. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, but I don't know what they'll do next with the Deadpool character. I am curious about that. The cameos were an awful lot of fun, and I like the fact that they weren't. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything about them if you don't know already, but I like the fact that the cameos weren't just cameos. They were small roles that had impact and of unexpected characters. And yeah, that's a lot of fun. I didn't expect it to go some of the directions it did. There is one thing I'm very curious about, and no, this is. I don't think this is a spoiler because it's in all the trailers, but there are a lot of returning kind of background X-Men villains that you see in the trailer, and they don't have a huge impact on the film. But I think it's pretty clear from the fact they're not announced them, it's not the original actors, but there is no information about a lot of them. Like, there's a lot of them that's like, well, oh, that's clearly that person, that's that person, that's that person. But, yeah, and some of them you think, is that the original actor? Maybe it's the original actor, can't tell. I'm guessing not, because you can't even find it on IMDb who's playing some of these characters, which is odd. It's odd, I mean, I'm guessing they don't have any lines, they're kind of technically just background, but it's kind of weird that they're not even, it's not even available just because someone doing an interview going, oh, I got to play X, you know, even though I didn't get any lines and I got to do a bit of a fight, you know. But I thought there'd be stunties out there who would be allowed to do interviews about this stuff, which I think is odd. It's very odd. But it was a huge amount of fun. Any criticism of it? There was the odd joke that didn't land, but I think that's always going to be the case. You're never going to, never all going to perfectly land, so that's okay. I would say, and I'm not being prudish about this, but I think they got a little F-bomb happy in, I think, particularly Wolverine's dialogue. I mean, clearly Hugh Jackman was having an absolute roller coaster, absolutely wild. One, be able to return the character, being able to wear the costume, and the costume did look pretty damn good, I've got to say. But being able to swear, I think he was having an awful lot of fun, but there were some times where you go, like every other sentence, they're swearing just as punctuation. Not even, I mean, there are the quips, of course there are the quips, and there are some spectacular insults and creative use. And I've talked about this before. Creative use of swearing is a masterpiece. It really is, and there's a lot of that. But there are times where it feels like they're just using swearing as punctuation. And I think maybe when you do that, it actually lessens the impact of some of the really good swears that you get in there. So it's a tiny criticism. But they were clearly having fun. It was a very good film. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will definitely watch it again. Unlikely to be in the cinema, but I'm very much looking forward to watching it again. And I'm very much looking forward to behind the scenes and stuff like that related to it, because yeah, that was a hell of a lot of fun. Really, really was. So cool. Yeah. I think that's about us, to be honest. We'll start wrapping this up. There's probably stuff I've missed. You know, I was thinking like yesterday, it's like, good grief, I've been away for so long. There's so much I'm going to need to cover in this. And I've just rattled through a load of stuff. Even with notes that I, scribbled down this morning, I still think there's stuff I missed out. So who knows? Who knows? I'll probably come back to my next stream and go, oh wait, here's like 9 giant things I meant to talk about and completely forgot. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So, what's next? Well, next stream is Wednesday. We've got lunch chat with games. We'll be continuing Warlock of Fire Top Mountain, and I think we will conclude it. I think even if I don't finish it, I think we'll probably draw it to a close there, because if I can't finish it in 3 streams, I'm probably not going to finish it, and I don't want it to become just a huge... I want to move on and do other things with that, because I've got a backlog of cool indie games. I've found a couple of really good retro games that I found, abandonware stuff that I'm looking forward to playing. So we'll probably the last stream on that one, but that should be good. On Friday, we have Shought Thorts, episode 7 with Iza, aka Evil Clever Dog. It is a bloody good episode. Please, please, please watch and enjoy this one. I said it is one of my favourites. I think it is the funniest episode so far, and it's got a lot of heart to it as well. And the next one's going to be good as well. I am midway through editing episode 8, and yeah, that's going to be very silly as well, but for a different reason. Looking forward to that one. So that's Wednesday, that's Friday. Anything else? Reminder of my birthday goals. My birthday is the 28th of August. I turned 39. I am trying desperately. You might enjoy the new Thank Goodness You're Here. I've seen a few people play it. So Thank Goodness You're Here, for those who don't know it, is the... it is a surreal, almost Ren and Stimpy-esque look into Yorkshire. It is a bizarre game. I might play it, but I've seen 2 people stream it already, so I probably won't. But I'm tempted to still give it a go, because there are bits that I missed when I did see people stream it. So maybe we'll see. What was I saying? Yes, birthday targets. So 3 targets. 2 are dead easy, and those 2 are free. First one there, I would like to try and get to 100 followers on Twitch. So we're currently on 86. So if you like this kind of jabbering and stuff I do, please, if you're watching this now, you're following me already, and I appreciate and love you for it. But recommend, share links, anything you can. Wonderful to hit 100 in time for my birthday. What's that, about 3.5 weeks away? Secondly, and I think even bigger than that, I want to try and get my YouTube subscribers to 100. I really am bloody proud of Shought Thorts. I really enjoy doing it. I want to keep doing it. And I think if there is ever a thing that gets me to YouTube monetization, where I actually get a bit of money for the time I'm putting into this, I think it would be the success of Shought Thorts and similar projects in that vein. So I want to keep doing it. But in order to get monetization on that, I need to, get more followers. I need to get more views. I have a loyal cohort of people who are sharing and watching and resharing. But anything you could do to share that people, recommend it to people. Choose your favorite episode, quote tweet about it, and tell people about it. It would be amazing to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. I think we are, like I said, I think we're on 87, so not a huge way to go to get to 100. So if you could do that, that would be amazing. And thirdly, if you're feeling particularly generous or want to get some exclusive content, behind the scenes stuff, or just want to chuck me a bit of money each month to go towards things like podcast hosting and the like, my Ko-Fi, ko-fi.com/dcbradshawrpg. It's $3 a month. If you could subscribe for that, that would be awesome. But at the very least, anything you could do to help those other 2, the 2 free ones, get my Twitch count up to 100, get my YouTube count up to 100, that would be amazing. Especially with the bloody YouTube, not YouTube, the bloody Twitter algorithm that really does seem to suppress sharing of videos and the like. So unless of course it's right-wing hatred, in which case it seems to love that. Anyway, anything you could do to support me getting towards any of those 3 goals would be really incredible. So thank you so much if you could do that. So I think let's do a little raid back to Nerdism Begins, whose birthday it is, and I popped into early from K of Double K's stream earlier. So I think we're going to do a little micro raid over there, which should be good. And I hope you have an awesome day, everyone. Right. I need to actually remember how I do things because it's been a little while. So let's go to raid on there and filter it for following. And we find Nerdism Begins. So we're going to start that raid in just a second. All right, everyone, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye.